All right, so I wanted to start off with Strider 2014. If you have not played this game, and I feel like a lot of people don't even know this game exists, like this is a must play. I My favorite Strider of before this game came out was Strider Part 2. I love that game. I thought it was the best, but this one blows that one away. Now, this is a remake of the Strider arcade game, and pretty much they did everything 100% right, in my opinion. The first Strider game, though it was awesome, I felt like a lot of enemies didn't stick out as much, and the story was, as you guys know, was kind of like weird and meh. But this game flushes out the story perfectly, and graphically, the game looks pretty good, I would say. I love how the game is set up in an adventure style, and pretty much characters from the first game, like mostly I want to say like enemies, they have like a bigger role in this game, along with new enemies as well. I'll go over some of the enemies here in a second, but I wanted to talk about the gameplay and how you go around through the city trying to unlock Grandmaster Mio's tower. So pretty much you earn abilities as you play the game, and the game gets very intense. You know, it's crazy because like as you're going through the city trying to unlock the tower, they know you're there, and the enemies are like kind of talking to you over an intercom, like talking crap to you and telling the people to look out for you. It's very intense, and I love the way it plays out. Now, as you go through the city, you'll learn new abilities, you'll meet people, they'll tell you what's going on, and it kind of really helped the story flesh out, I would say. But the game is really going to hook you when you fight one of the main bosses, and this boss, I believe, was in the first Strider game, if I can remember right. Yeah, of course it was. And it also was kind of in Strider 2, if I can remember. Maybe it might have been under a different name. Now, looking at it now, it looks like the name of it is Ouroboros. It's kind of like the same name of the virus in Resident Evil 5. But anyways, we'll just call it Emperor Dragon. And once you fight this thing, you're in the sky, and it's kind of twirling around, doing all this crazy stuff, man. It's like such a cool boss battle. It's like, dude, like you want to see what else this game has to offer. And I'm telling you, everybody else you meet in this game, they put up a great challenge. You know, every boss in this game is very unique. And the other boss in this game, I think her name was Tung Po or something like that from Strider 1. You don't remember her because they were like regular characters, but now she and her sisters are boss characters in this game. And they put up a significant challenge. So I could go into this forever, guys, but I just want to close this out here because this part of the video is going to be a little bit long. But I do want to say Strider has a lot of unique rivals in this game. And, you know, though the game is not that long, I would say your first time playing it probably take you around, I want to say around maybe 5 to 6 hours if you play it continuously. But I want to say there's a lot of epicness in this game. And I hope that you guys will play this game. I come to find out a lot of people don't even know about this game. And, you know, I went so far as to, you know, do a review on it years ago when I first started my channel. Now, I actually I clipped the trailer and added some dialogue to it from the game to kind of match up. I wanted to show it to you guys. I don't have the original file. I had to pull it off my TikTok, but I want to kind of close showing that clip.
You have done us a great service, young Strider. We thank you for dealing with my subordinates. We had grown tired of their incompetence. The people of this planet have squandered the gifts we gave them. All of their imperfections and weaknesses have given us clarity. We will start anew and bring about the new age of mayhem. Come, Strider. You will serve me. You will help us reshape this world.
I will not serve you or any other dead man.
Disappointing. And so imperfect. This world is mine, Strider. If you will not serve me, you will die.
Here's Record of Lodoss War, A Wonder Labyrinth. Man, this game, you know, being an adventure game that it is, you know, very similar to Metroidvania type games, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania. Oh man, I was blown away with this game. This game is a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people complain that it's a short game, but still, this is a really good experience. This is how an adventure game should be done. I mean, I feel like a lot of games trying to piggyback off the formula, and their games are kind of like just not that good. But this one, it's just so many good elements to it. The music is smooth. It's nice to listen to. Just the whole thing of the learning curve with the game is just really easy to get into. Definitely something I think a lot of people should try out. What's kind of funny about this game is that after I was playing it, you know, I wanted to dive into the lore again. I haven't done it in years, and I actually bought the anime for it. They had the OVA and the series on Blu-ray, and I picked that up. I think it was going for around $20. So definitely something, man. Man, this series is just really cool, guys. Definitely check it out. Here's Iconoclast. So you guys probably remember me playing this on live streams, and I got pretty far in the game on those live streams. It was a lot of fun. So what's going to attract you to this game mostly, of course, are the graphics. The 2D graphics sprites are amazing. Character reactions to each other, the comical story. This game just has it all. And one of my favorite things, has really cool boss battles. Now, I know one thing that people will appreciate about this game is the exploration of the game. The way you open up different areas and how the game plays out, it's just very well done. It just keeps things compelling. You're always like constantly on a hook, wanting to find out where to go next or what to do next. This is one of those games that you could tell that the developer put their heart and soul into this game. As a matter of fact, as I was looking up the developer, I couldn't find any other games that they made. So they might be taking a break after they made this one, or maybe I didn't find the right information. I'm not really sure, but still, you can really tell that they really loved what they were doing with this game. And I feel like a lot of you guys will feel the same way. You know, there's a lot of games like this out there where I would say Metroidvanias, but not all of them are good. You know, some of them are very subpar, but this one really just like puts the effort that games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night did. Now, wait a minute. It looks like I found their website again, the correct one, and it shows that they actually made quite a few games before this one. This was the last game they made as of now, and it took them around 8 years to make this game. So wow, they put, like I said, they put a lot of effort into it. But I plan on playing this game again after I play the next game I'll be talking about in this list. Alright, so here's Timespinner, excuse me. This is the game I'm currently playing. And, oh man, this game really pulls you in. You know, I don't want to play anything else until I complete this game. And, you know, I found out about this game from my buddy, John Houston. Shout out to John Houston if you're watching, buddy. I appreciate you, man. He actually beat the game already, and he loved it, so I took an interest in it. Now, the interesting thing about this game is that you actually go back in time. And the whole going back in time, it kind of reminded me how when you play Chrono Trigger and you go back in time in the same area you're at, like it shows how it looks in the past and in the distant past, distant future, things like that. That's what this game does, and it does it pretty well. Now, one of the standout abilities that your character has is the ability to stop time. This works a lot in your favor, of course, and I wasn't using it when I was first playing the game when I needed to. I didn't even realize it. You know, I kind of forgot about it. But when I was dealing with a difficult boss, you know, I couldn't move out of the way of its attacks. I was like, what the heck is going on here? I stopped time and boom, that was the whole mechanic I needed to beat that boss, at least easier. You'll also be able to use the time stop ability to use enemies as platforms to get to like higher ground. Now, I feel like I'm not that far into the game, you know, but I was told that the game is around 6 hours. And if you want to like do all the objectives, it's probably around like 11, 12 hours. I'm liking the game a lot, so I'm probably going to try to complete everything. But I would say if you like what you're seeing here, you definitely want to add this game to your collection, and the music is on point. Alright, so here's Infernax. Oh man, this game it pretty much came out of nowhere for me. This game, it just hits all the feels. It's very similar to games, old school games like Castlevania 2. What else? It's just so many games this game's similar to, and it makes it so freaking awesome. Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. This adventure game is just something else, man. And the guys who created this, it's definitely a love letter to people who play those old school 8-bit games. I actually saw this game for the first time when I saw my buddy Jason playing it. So actually playing it recently, it was kind of funny. So the game starts off when you get off the boat. You're about to go into your country, and you see a zombie on, I think on like a cross or something like that. And pretty much the game's fun starts there because it's pretty much you could like choose the way you play the game immediately. I chose to get back on the boat. I talked to the shipmate, and he said, "Hey, let's get out of here." And when we left, I got one of the endings to the game. So I thought that was just pretty hilarious that the creators put that in there. And it's funny because, you know, some people can say, "Hey, yeah, I beat the game in a couple of minutes." You know, if they didn't really like the game that much or whatever, they can say, "Yeah, I beat the game." And they actually did, because that is an ending you get in the game. But of course, I'm not going to end the game like that. I'm going to play the game like it was meant to be played. And what's cool about this game is you get these decisions to whether you want to help people or not help them, and they become like pretty much critical choices for you for depending on what ending you want to get in the game. So right here, you're seeing I have to slay this guy or help him. I chose to slay because he's pretty much turned into a zombie, and there's nothing I can really do to help him. And I showed no mercy. Now, I feel like I made the right decision here, but if I did try to help him in another decision I made, he pretty much transforms into a boss that you have to fight. Boss is not hard, but still, you know, you feel like you could avoid that decision if you just slain him like he wanted. Also, since this game is very similar to Castlevania 2, it has a transition from night into day that's not as frequent as it was on Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, which was annoying. This game does it sparingly. There's a lot to talk about with this game, and I'm still in the beginning stages of it, but cool boss fights, great music. I mean, just all around, I feel like this is going to be an awesome experience. And there are so many different ways to play this game. I know there's a Contra code for this game where you can play the game as a Contra character, which is pretty hilarious. And that has its own ending and bosses. So there's a lot to look forward to in this game. I would say if you have a chance to pick this one up, definitely add it to your collection, especially if you like old school 8-bit games, 8-bit adventure games like Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, or if you just overall want a good adventure experience. Alright, so next up we have Icey. I think a lot of people know about this game, but I'm not really sure, so I'm just gonna tell you my experience with it. So, you play as a character named Icey, and pretty much she's the main protagonist of the video game, but there's a narrator telling you how to play the game and what to do. Now, this is okay in the beginning of the game, but then it just becomes like just annoying. It's kind of like a backseat gaming, like someone, like you're playing a game and someone comes up and tells you what to do when you don't ask them or whatever like that. It's like, oh, annoying, you know. So that's what it feels like playing this game. But what you could do is not do what the narrator tells you to do and do the opposite. So there's ways to play this game. It's really fun. You can play it like by listening to everything they say, or you can do what you want to do. And I feel that's the best way to play this game. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this one. I got to the end of the game. I think I got to the end. And there's a certain level that I'm trying to beat, but it's like some kind of X mode or something like that. You have to get a certain amount of hit points, and I just can't pull off the move. It's so weird. I don't know if I'm supposed to be there. I probably should follow the narrator's advice, but I don't know. I'm too stubborn. Now here's Owlboy. If there's a game out of the Metroidvania games, I would call it hidden gem. This one would definitely be it. It's unfortunate too, because I know a lot of people don't know this game exists. But it's one of the most colorful looking games. I love the whole atmosphere of the game, how you're in the sky and your character can fly pretty much anywhere. You know, you pretty much fly around in this game. And your character has a certain amount of attacks, but you'll be bringing around like friends you have in the game to do certain other attacks, like kind of shooting stuff. It's really cool how it plays out. The game is very story driven, so there's a lot of detail in the story, I would say. But man, if you see this game, I mean, obviously you're seeing it, you're watching this video. I would say this is a must pick up, guys. I don't want to go too much over the story because the story is actually pretty deep, but it's definitely a game that I feel like a lot of people should play, especially if you like Metroidvania and stuff. La-Mulana 1 and 2 Hidden Treasures Edition. You guys probably saw me talk about this on Jason's channel, and I had actually got the PS4 version, and now I decided to get the Switch version because I wanted this game to be portable for me. And if you haven't played this game, I don't want to call it a Metroidvania, but it reminds me of this old school game I used to play called Pharaoh's Tomb back on the computer. And I feel like they don't really make games like that anymore, so this game was fit right up my alley. It was very nostalgic. And these are very good games, and the packaging comes with a lot of good stuff, you know. So at the time, I got this for a retail price. I don't know if it's going higher now. If you could get it cheaper, awesome. But I think this is one of those games that will probably be definitely sought after in the future. And next up is Chasm. This, I believe, is a Metroidvania type game. Not really too sure yet because so far I'm still in the beginning of the game and it's pretty linear. But it seems like it's got a cool story so far. I like the 8-bit graphics, but man, it kind of, well, not 8-bit, I would say kind of like 16-bit graphics. But man, looking at this game on like a 4K television, it seems just really weird. You know, I don't know. I feel like I should be playing it on something else. You know, just like. Not saying it hurts the eyes or anything like that. The game looks great, but it's like, man, just like the adjustment is just kind of strange playing on a 4K television. But anyways, looks to be a solid game. Really looking forward to it. And you guys in the comments, let me know what you think about this one because I heard mixed things about it. I heard that the game tries to force you to like replay it or whatnot, and it doesn't really deserve replayability, I guess. You know, it's one of those games where you might just want to play it once or whatever like that. But who knows? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so here's Astronite. This game came out of nowhere for me. This was sent to me by Funstock. And this is a Metroidvania where you play as an astronaut who crash lands on a planet. Now the game is in black and white, but that doesn't take away from its charm. But the game does have a problem that kind of annoys me. It's not going to annoy everybody, but it annoyed me. So if you guys have played games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you know how that game starts with Alucard. He has his weapons and all that stuff. And then when you get to a certain part, you get all that taken away from you. Well, the same thing happens in this game. Just when I got used to how the mechanics go pretty much, how you shoot enemies, jump around, use your jetpack, they took everything away from me, even my weapons. So I couldn't even attack anybody. So that was pretty annoying. But luckily, the first item you get back is your gun, so you can fight back. But man, getting you used to that mechanic pretty much, like you have everything and then all of a sudden they just take it away. It's just so annoying. But that doesn't take away from the game. It's just an annoyance for me. Now, I haven't got too far in the story yet, but the dialogue is freaking funny. If you listen to what they say to each other, it's a pretty funny dialogue in this game. Now, the game does have certain puzzles that are time-based pretty much. So, let's say you set off a trap pretty much, and you have to figure out a puzzle. You don't figure out in time, of course, you get killed Indiana Jones style, so be careful of that. But none of the puzzles so far are too hard. It's just like, it can be very tense because, you know, like, there's one puzzle I set off where the water is going to come up and drown me, and I have to shoot these orbs in time in a right order to get the water to drop back down. So that was a tense moment for me trying to get that done. But I think it's an exciting game, and I think a lot of people will like it. If you like puzzle platformers, Metroidvania style games, Astronite is right up your alley. This game is pretty hidden from what I know, so I didn't even know it got an American release. So if you like what you're seeing here, it might be a game you want to check out. So here is the Mummy Demastered for the PS4. Now, I actually have this game on the Switch, but I wanted it on the PS4, and I happened to find it at the first another castle location me and Jason went to, so I was really happy spotting this. Now, if you guys don't know about this game, Jason actually told me about this game a while ago. I think around the time he had got his Switch, and he said, "Hey, Reggie, this is a great game." And I said, well, maybe one day they'll make it a physical. And now that day is finally here. And this is what you would call an adventure game, and it's kind of like, I want to kind of say it's a little roguelike, kind of, because when your character dies, another character will come in and replace him that looks exactly the same. But if you want all the upgrades you got with your original character, you have to find your old character's body and whatnot, and that's how you kind of like get all your stuff back if you want to do it that way. But definitely a game that deserved a physical release. I'm happy I got this for the PS4. But let me know what you guys think of this game if you played it. You know, I've talked about it in the videos before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it now. But I'm happy to scratch this one off the list. Alright, so here's MomoDora. Now, the funny thing about this game is that I didn't actually like it at first. I thought it started out way too simple. It kind of bored me. And luckily, I played enough to where you get to the castle. And once you get to the castle from the forest in this game, everything starts to set in. And I was actually kind of like blown away because there's not many like games like this, especially, that kind of like trip me out. And when I say trip me out, the game is very eerie. First of all, the whole land has been cursed. And once you get to the castle, the music that plays and just the environments and enemies, just the way they are, just really gives you a sense of like unnerving feeling, I would say. Now, not in a bad way where you would lose sleep at night or anything like that, but just be careful playing this game with the speakers turned up and playing it at night, because it kind of could trip you out. Now, so far, I'm not that far into the game. I am at the castle. I've been under the castle and explored that area, and it's been pretty fun. The bosses are actually very challenging. Well, I shouldn't say very challenging. I should say they're more like I guess I should say fair. If you lose the battle, it's your fault because you weren't paying attention. So I'll just leave it at that. But I'm having a good time with this one. If any of you guys have played this game in the comments, let me know how you felt about it. I'm interested in hearing your guys' thoughts about this one, because this one, I feel bad that I didn't finish it a long time ago when I first got it. So now this is another one I'm putting on my radar to finish. So here we look at Turrican Flaskback. This came out, I think, about late January, and I guess the PS4 version got delayed, but the Switch version came out right on time. I guess they wanted to make that Switch money. But either way, you get 4 games on this. Turrican, I don't really need to explain anything about this game. It's a running gun shooter, a lot of fun. You get 4 games. It has save states and all that good stuff, and you know, just a really cool game. Definitely check this one out if you like running gun shooters. One thing that stands out in Turrican games is the music. The music is really good, so check this one out if you got the time for it. Here's the Blasted Master Zero series. Indie Crates did a great job reintroducing this series to fans because the first game's story was kind of like really bare bones. You had to kind of like put things together. But Indie Crates was able to recreate the first game and also expand upon the story, making sure that Eve, which is a central character in the Blasted Master series, was pretty much introduced in the first game and in the series. So they did a really great job reintroducing the story to people and making the story compelling enough for us to care about it without having to try to piece things together like in the first game years ago. But anyways, so if you haven't played these games before, these are pretty much single player action adventure games. And you have a vehicle that you travel with, and also you get out of the vehicle and like fight enemies like that. That is only recommended in certain parts of the game. And then when you get to certain parts of levels, you'll have a top-down view where you pretty much fight bosses and stuff. It's actually really well done. It keeps the formula fresh, thankfully, and it kept me glued to it. So I had a really good time with this series. If you haven't played Blasted Master, I highly recommend you check these games out. You don't even have to go to the original games. Just go to the Blasted Master Zero series, and you'll be alright from that point on. Alright, so next is Gunlord X. If you have played games like Mega Turrican or any of the Turrican games, I kind of feel like this is a spiritual successor to those games. Like the people who made this game were fans of the Turrican games. So you get pretty much that type of gameplay here. Lots of different weapons, cool bosses, great music. The music has always stuck out in these type of games, so definitely easy on the ears. So this game was created by a company called NG Dev Team. I think I've seen other games they made before. I think there's like a Neo Geo game called Krautbuster or something like that, but could be totally wrong about that. But it seems like they're an up-and-coming company that are putting out games. And even though this game I think is quite old in a way, or has been in development for a long time, it's good as it's finally here. And I hear they're working on other games as well to bring out to the Switch. So we'll see what they have to offer, but this is a good start.
Warning, lost encounter.
Alright, so next up is Cathedral. Now, when you first see this game, you're going to pretty much think of an NES game. Kind of like an action-adventure game. Very similar to something like DuckTales. Now, I didn't see too much story when I was playing this game, but it seems like you're playing as a knight who's trying to regain his memories. So I think most retro gamers will appreciate the gameplay and also the chiptune soundtrack, which is well done. Got some catchy music in here. I couldn't help but notice though, while I was playing the game, I really felt like this game is kind of nostalgic to DuckTales. Here's Alwa's Awakening for the Nintendo. So definitely, if you're into like adventure games, like kind of like similar to like adventure games like a Metroid, this will be something you could get into. Now, if you don't have an NES, there's other ways you can play this game. You can get the Alwa's Collection for the Switch and the PS4, which has this game and its sequel, Alwa's Legacy. But this NES version has some special things about it, so I don't want to reveal the secret, but definitely this one's worth having too. And now here's a collection of games that I hope all of you own. Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection. I can't even express how cool these games are. And this was the first time you really got to see like a Mega Man game like played as an adventure game. Like the map is just the whole game pretty much. It's not level based. Now you get 6 games in this collection, but I want to specifically talk about the ZX games. This was the first game where a regular character actually gets to become Mega Man. It was freaking awesome. I loved it. And you get to choose between 2 characters. Pretty much the story is the same, just some minor differences. But just the way the game plays out is so much fun. Now, this game originally came out on the DS, and thank goodness, it didn't live and die on the DS system. You can play this on a big screen TV now. But I want to say that this game actually rekindled my love for adventure games back in the day. I really had a good time with it. And I hear nothing but good things about it from fans, so I would definitely keep this game on your radar. And I have good news for the people who didn't like the Zero games that much because they were tough. There is an easy mode that you can use on this game. So if the game was too hard for you, or the first 4 games were too hard, you can definitely play on easy mode. Makes things a lot more manageable, I would say. But anyways, guys, definitely grab this one. Here is Alwa's Collection. This is a collection of 2 Metroidvania type games, one 8-bit, one I guess you could say 16-bit. The first game is Alwa's Legacy, and the second game is Alwa's Awakening.